Hello, everybody. Welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble and on Patreon for extra support, any kind of updates and the such usually go out on Twitter X. And just a quick update. Today, we're going to get the Callisto Protocol episode and another Wednesday and Friday. That's what I'm trying to keep here as a schedule for the update for the gaming series. Sorry, and I already have some completed gameplay series here. Um, yeah, let's go to news. Not much happening. It's Monday, usual stuff here. Similarly, again, got a little bit more rumored information. Again, it's rumored. Take it with a grain of salt. Regarding why AMD fumbled the CES keynote on the announcement of the any kind of RDNA4 GPUs. Again, it seems that again it's one of the most logical reasons is the fact that they had any kind of information or access to what Nvidia was about to announce, especially on the 5070 Ti and non-Ti versions of the GPUs in terms of pricing. Similarly, it's a little bit more aggressive in terms of price from the previous generation when they launched. I think the 5070 Ti, sorry, it's less $50 than the 4070 Ti. And the 5070, I think it's also less or at the same price that the 4070 in terms of launch, if not mistaken. And I think AMD was planning, I don't know what kind of, there is no information regarding what kind of prices they were expected to launch on the RDNA4 GPUs, especially the 9070 and 9070 XT. But it seemingly might be, it was, sorry, enough to for them to get scared and backtrack on any kind of, I don't know, any kind of reveal. I will assume that the graphics were already with the prices and everything, and they didn't have time to go about and I don't know, going down on those prices, and the fact that also that we already have some inventory on retailers for the RDNA4. Yeah, they have some stuff to deal with, which basically handling cashback payments. By the fact, I don't know, there's several ways of going about this. Maybe AMD has to, I don't know, pay the difference, let's say, for each sold card at the agreed price point. Usually these things are taken care with at least weeks or if not months of before the launch of any kind of card. So they agree for the retailers to buy X amount of cards for X amount of price. And if they, AMD in this case, has to announce MSRPs at a lower price, they will have to handle out the difference there. I'm not sure how usually that process goes, but I will assume it's something in that way. But yeah, it seems that we'll have to wait a little bit longer. Again, today Monday there is no official announcement of what we can assume is an official unveilment of these GPUs with any kind of FSR4 also in terms of announcement with the launch of RDNA4. Again, we are still waiting. There has been some rumors here and there that probably they going to launch or at least do an event or something like that on the 23rd, which is in about around 3 days or so. But again, there is no official information regarding any kind of details regarding RDNA4, which is starting to get a bit um, uh, nerve wracking to a certain extent because people were expecting at least the announcement having a little bit more data, especially on the performance side. Again, the performance that we've been seeing around is, again, leaked information, so it's not even official information. Again, it's always very, very cloudy taking this information as a given, especially with rumors and the such. But yeah, we need something out of AMD. They are fumbling in terms of marketing. Again, this is not the first time. they are doing this. Even the 7000 or RDNA free was a little bit fumbly in terms of the marketing strategy they approach there, especially on the pricing with the 7900 XTX and the 7900 XT. The difference between only $100 and the performance to price to performance there was trying to upsell the 7900 XTX there. But yeah, we really need some official information so people can at least start have an idea what to expect from this, because again it's all over the place in terms of given any kind of price information, launch dates, even the technology behind RDNA4 and the FSR and all that jazz. There is a lot of rumors around, but no official information, which is a shame. I think they really need to clarify everything, or else this is going to be another fumble launch. And what they intend to do, which is gain a little bit more market share, especially again on the middle to low end graphic GPU tier list there, they are not going to achieve, because again, when you start fumbling marketing, it takes a lot of people to. It's like the saying, it's the first impression that it counts, and they are screwing it up big time there. But yeah, this is what I got here. I think on the 50 series, again, a lot of leaked synthetic benchmarks in the search in several applications is being coming out, and it seems to be, at least comparing with the specs and also with the synthetic benchmarks, seems that the 5090 is on average so far, with the results that been leaked, around 30% better than the 4090. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see how it behaves on games, which is one of the most crucial parts of those new GPUs. If it is really compares itself in that sense, in terms of at least 30% up in terms of gaming, and still, I don't think it's a very good leap in terms of price and performance, because again, if you're putting everything 30, you maintain the same kind of price and performance comparatively with the 4090. But yeah, in other stuff regarding gaming stuff here, we got some interesting news regarding Decima engine, which is an engine developed by Guerrilla Games that came out powering the Horizon series, as well Death Stranding. Again, I really like this engine, at least from what I looked, especially from Horizon series. It seems a pretty solid engine, and from what I played from Death Stranding, I really enjoyed this game. Very fluid. I don't have any issues with Death Stranding with my configuration playing 4K 144 frames per second, which is the limit of my monitor there. I never benchmarked the Death Stranding, but again, I never had any issues, like any kind of, never noticed stuttering or pop up. Again, this comes out also by the fact that it might. Uh, um, the Kojima Productions did a good job on fine tuning the engine to that needs, but in terms of visual quality, pretty good, and it seems to perform very well. And it seems that, again, this is good because game engine competition, I think, needs to ramp up their game, and I think this Decima engine might be a good alternative option, especially for first-party studios inside Sony. And it seems that it's people were trying to get around and cultivate this the usage of this engine, given that they basically upgraded the engine to leverage better to other studios adopt this engine, in the sense that they need to have engineers and people qualified to give support to those studios to implement this game engine in their own games and their projects. And yeah, it seems that these guys from Guerrilla Games are doing a good job there. Um, Death Stranding 2 on the beach, it's also using this engine. And from what we looked so far, it seems pretty good. And hopefully, that again, it's a good engine. Hopefully, they can use it on other studios for other games outside of PlayStation, because I think it will be good for the engine itself. I don't know how game engines can, in terms of royalties and that's and those things, how it works. again, with the Unreal Engine, it's one thing. I'm not sure if they can do similar kind of scheme around studios that want to use the Decima engine. But I think this engine seems pretty good, at least from what I've seen, and hopefully they can expand a little bit more so that people can use it and to a certain degree make a little bit more competition inside the game engine market with the likes of Unreal Engine 5 to a certain extent also with the RE engine, which is going to be used in this upcoming game, which is Monster Hunter Wilds, and it's been used on the Resident Evil remakes at least, and the new games also, and also used in Dragon's Dogma 2. Again, um, hopefully we can see a little bit more competition in that side of things because again to a certain degree Unreal Engine 5 has a huge flaw, which is the lack of optimization for CPUs. Again, that there are some engineering flaws on that, which I think should have been already been addressed, and I don't see it being addressed, especially on the new versions of Unreal Engine 5 that it's coming out. We got, I think, announced the 5.5 version, and still I didn't see anything addressing that concern. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. On other news, again, Dragon Age Veilguard game creator confirms exit from BioWare. Game creator, no, game director, sorry. Um, uh, Previously known as Andrew Bush, now calling itself Corinne Bush. Again, there was, and let me look here, there was some leaks uh, coming from Grummz and Smash IT. They did a collaboration with this leak regarding Corinne Bush getting out of the studio, leaving the studio. Would supposedly was not fired so far. Again, might be a situation similar to Alyssa Mercante when she supposedly said that she left Kotaku, but for all intents and purposes, information that we got, it's most likely that she was given the option to get out of the studio. Maybe they bought up the rest of the contract and make it go away or something on those lines. But yeah, we got now the confirmation that supposedly it did left the studio, so it was not fired. Again, with all of this thing, um, s- encouraged not to read too much into this. But then again, we all know how this game performed after it came out. Um, yeah, it didn't perform very well. Performed even worse than Star Wars Outlaws, given that these are two big IPs in terms of the gamer base here. And comparing it to Star Wars Outlaws, we don't know exactly the numbers, if not mistaken, from Star Wars Outlaws. I never saw anything concrete regarding number of sales. But according to, I think this is coming from Games Industry Bees. I don't know how they reach these numbers, but again, assuming that they are using the same kind of processes to reach these numbers, Star Wars Outlaw was the 14th best-selling new game of the year, but number 45 overall. So there was at least more games that are older that sold better than Star Wars Outlaw. And the same thing happened on Dragon Age of Veilguard in a more pronounced way. That was number 19 best-selling new game chart, but was 68 overall. So again, it shows that probably they didn't even reach 1 million copies. There are some estimates, especially from the Steam charts. There is an estimation from SteamDB, if not mistaken, which hovers around between 350k to 750k or something like that. And yeah, again, they got a decent amount of all-time peak when the game was launched, but it fumbled very quickly in about a month or so, basically to below 20k at least. Yeah, this is one of the reasons for sure that this person was made to get out of the studio, or they saw the writing on the wall that it's better to leave now while things are not in a chaotic way. And also the fact that in this rumor from Smash GT and Grummz, they did speculate, or there is a speculation that the studio will be shut down, and probably the most likely outcome, if the studio will be shut down, will be around February, just before EA Town Hall for Investments and Gamers, which happens the final quarter of the fiscal year for EA. I think there is something about it, even though again there is no huge confirmation. The only thing that we can confirm from the leak from Grummz and Smash City, it's indeed that Corinne Bush left the studio there as a creative director. There was a follow up on this scumbag of Jeff Grubb, which, from what I've seen, he tried to took this leak as the first leaker on this situation, which is not the case. Um, um, he was trying to claim that he had this leak first in hands, but it was not the case. The only thing that it was different on that sense was there was not going to be a closing down of Bioware Edmonton, which is a studio that made Dragon Age. But yeah, this comeback tried to claim, or even if he didn't do it directly, he basically worded it in a way that was trying to claim first dibs on this leak, which is, again, as supposedly someone coming from the legacy media, which is, how it calls the giant bombs, which is not very well known. But yeah, to a certain extent, he tried to claim dibs on this leak first, but yeah, it was not the case. And then finally, here regarding Kingdom Come Deliverance, Deliverance 2, we finally have some more direct response here, especially from Daniel Varver. Again, this situation sparkled after a couple of tweets. I covered this at least a couple of days ago. It was all over Twitter regarding the fact that the game was banned in Saudi Arabia because of unskippable gay scenes happening in the game. It seems that it's not the case. Um, and again, I'm not sure if I mentioned that. If not, I never experienced. I never played the first game. Usually, this kind of game is not that much throughout um, my taste in games. I usually don't like very much like simulation, very heavy in terms of mechanics. Even though I can recognize that the game was pretty good. It seemed that in the first game there was no unskippable scenes. So now it makes a little bit more sense the fact that again it seems a little bit fumbled, that scoop that was happening on Twitter there. Um, what else can I say? The fact that the this guy didn't clarify um, anything in a proper manner, like at least we have here. It made some veiled statements that induce people to even get to basically the way he worded stuff was basically give more credence for this supposed leaks on the fact that the game was banned on Saudi because of gay scenes. Um, and it didn't help the situation basically. Now, suppose we got a better clarification here, which I managed to come up here with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 on the Steam forums here. This is basically a copy paste of basically what was here to a certain extent. And this person here, I'm not sure, 18th January, and then this was posted afterwards. Okay, he did a little bit digging here, which is interesting, and basically we got some kind of Q&A thing or FAQ here, basically saying, is the game banned in Saudi Arabia? No, at this moment it's not, which is it dispels those Twitter posts there from supposedly people that were on the know there. Was this post about gay scene? No, it was about indecency, drinking, sex, offense against God. Again, I mentioned this, the fact that was about the unskippable gay scene, and I thought that most likely, if something was there, it has to do more offense against God, and the fact that it got some sex, probably some drinking here and there because of the setting of the game there. Is there a gay character? Yes, there is definitely Sir Istvan Toth, one of the main antagonists from the first game, who is a gay again. The way that this wording is very funny. Yeah, supposedly there is. Again, I never played the first one, so I'm not knowledgeable. I will have to assume this is true. Is there unskippable gay cutscene? No. Confirmed by both official sources and players playing the game right now, no cutscene is skippable. So goes in line and maintains the same thing with the first game. So all scenes and everything that like cutscenes and such, everything can be skippable. Um, is there an avoidable airy gay scene? No, confirmed by both official sources and players playing the game right now. Airy is not forced into anything. Everything is up to the player. So um, it's an RPG in that sense. Is there possible gay romance? Again, maybe players who already finished the game stated he didn't met any option to be gay, but one guy was really friendly. Maybe it would try hard enough. You could end with him. Nobody knows here, at least from the people that are reviewing or having access to this game, early access to this game, cannot confirm this. And if there will be gay romance, will it be consequences for it? Yes, confirmed by multiple official sources. All your actions will have consequences according to medieval historic and social norms. Again, this is coming to a certain extent from Daniel Vavra, the creative director there. Again, the game tries and maintains itself in line with. Again, this is kind of a simulation aspect of that period of time, 1400s, Bohemia area there. So again, we all know that usually anything that has to do with same-sex relationships and even with woman empowerment and that jazz, usually it was very frowned upon. And then regarding the gay scene, is there proof of this that will be consequences for it? Yes, on the first game, Woman's Lot, I think this is a DLC for the game, there is opinionated women having problems with a male ruled world. Guess what? You can instantly send her burned at the stake for opinions and being a woman, which is very interesting. Is there black Czech character? No, all Czechs and other Europeans are white. Is there a black character? Yes, it's a black Moor medic traveling with Sigismund army, the bad guy. So he is not staying in Bohemia. He's traveling with the army camp among all ethnicities and races that Hungarian army consists of. Again, I think it has to do fact with the Crusades and they trying to expand the Christian kingdom or fiefdoms at the time. Again, there was a lot of interactions between Middle Eastern and even East Asians, and there were some oddities here and there of foreigners coming in and around, but usually they were frowned upon. That people didn't like too much, but there was some instances of that happening. Um, is it historically accurate? Sorry, not definitely, but it's possible. Hungarian armies consisted from multiple diverse groups, some time taking in the wording is not that good. Some time taking in events part at Asian wars, again East Asians, or people from Byzantine, which is more Middle Eastern. Traveling more medic could get there, and it will be actually the most plausible way to get a black character into Central Europe. Again, this is uh, in line with a certain historical accuracy. Again, there was nobody making taking pictures and everything, but again, it's reported that from time to time some of this stuff might happen. The intermingling of certain characters. Usually, it's more, if not mistaken, with more of people of higher stature because they could be protected better. I don't think a, a peasant at the time could just randomly appear in this area from the Middle East and not uh, uh, get himself into some trouble. Um, and then here, is he feminist and preachy? I think Harry, which is the main character, referring to this. No, most infamous screenshot is out of context. Harry, who by some sources can call him devil at first, can ask him about his lands. He then says all the good and bad about both lands, showing that every land is different, with different people in different culture against his line about women reflects even today's age Muslim perspective, where they believe that they are better to women as they guard their chastity. I think this is referring to this guy, to the Moor medic. Then is code of conduct made by Warhorse? No, it is by Playan. Warhorse has no power for it. Again, because this game is it's published by Playan and not from the previous publisher from the first game, which I cannot recall who it was. But yeah, this stream of conduct things here on the social medias and everything, it's being handled by PlayOn. Warhorse doesn't have any word to say about this because it's not part of the deal itself. We've been seeing a lot of stuff very weird on the community from the community managers there from Steam and Discord and everything. Again, this is basically to you can only blame play on of this. Again, we've been seeing a lot from recent launches, the community management teams there being on Discord, on Steam, on in other spaces. They are not being handling the interactions with the gamers, in this case customers, very well with all the this cannot talk about certain things, and they just start banning people all over the place. This is not good, which is only adds to a certain degree fuel to the fire with all the Saudi Arabian banned stuff there. And again, is the code of conduct of what PlayOn is doing misinterpreted? Kind of. The most infamous part is just copy paste of Steam TOS, effectively saying both me and Steam can ban you for this. And this is referring Steam and or PlayOn. Is the code of conduct good thing? No, but also Warhorse, so the guys that do the game are not at fault. PlayOn and Steam are the only ones that can enforce and change any kind of thing here. So it's a worthless job trying to go about Warhorse, or in this case Daniel Favre, talking about and trying to change any kind of these things regarding the conduct of conduct there. Um, and again, just to wrap up here, it is just overblown controversy based on oxygen misinterpretation. Yes, absolutely. This is basically directly responding to those tweets or posts there on Twitter that we saw regarding the ban in Saudi Arabia. Now here it's a little bit highlighted here. Again, this is a copy paste from the Twitter here. I will leave both links here so you can check it. Okay, adding it here, it's kind of the response to this. Again, from directly from Daniel Favre. There are no unskippable cutscenes in our games. Anybody who claims otherwise never played them. We are not, nor ever were banned in any country, at least not that we know of. As much as I don't like forced diversity, nobody was forcing us to do anything, and we are not forcing anyone to do certain things. Gay characters were already in Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, so the previous game. We went through this here. Sir Isvan Tov was a gay character, which to a certain degree, this is why it was to a certain degree a bad character, the bad guy. Kingdom Come Deliverance is an RPG. We're responsible for your decisions. If you want Harry to try a same-sex adventure, feel free. If you don't want to, you don't have to. All affairs are and were in the previous game purely optional. The characters are perfectly aware that it was a forbidden sin. The game takes place in one of the richest cities in Europe, which was besieged by a massive foreign army. That's the reason why the life in such a city is more diverse than the life of in villages, which were featured in the first game. Musa, which I think it's that Moor doctor, which I think it's a real person that went about there, if not mistaken, came to Bohemia with the invading army as a member of the royal court of King Sigismund, who he met thanks to his engagement at the court of Sultan Bayezid. He is an educated noble and Renaissance man from the Kingdom of Mali, so African. At the same time, Musa is a very unusual figure for the local Bohemian folk, and many of the situations around him in the game stem from this. So his presence makes sense and creates a lot of interesting situations in the game, the way he talks and behaves as a reason. Everything displayed corresponds to the morals and social norms of 1400s Bohemia, and it's only there to make an interesting story, not not at all to appeal to a modern audience. We don't want Kingdom Come Deliverance to be used as clickbait by people who didn't even play it yet. Some of them sadly turn into exactly the same narrative they pretend to be fighting against. The amount of hateful behavior is really sad and will damage any cause associated with it. Again, this is what should have come, or something in those lines should have come right away from him, because the first responses to this situation was a little bit confusing for people to not make a stand or something like that, but they were not clear enough for people that were trying to get if this ban in Saudi Arabia was real or not, and the reasoning why. But I think something like this it does clarify a lot of stuff that people were having doubts about. And then afterwards, after this Daniel Farah tweet came out, Grummz came out and um, clarify and confirm most of basically everything from Daniel Farah tweet. And this I found this here a copy paste, which is easier to read because I have to go through the thread there. Again, no, Kingdom Come Deliverance is not woke. I receive exclusive information from someone who has completed the game, which clears up many rumors. Note the game director then just post clarification is 100% telling you to it straight. According to this player who wants to clear the air so the game can succeed, this is actually exact content of the game's main storyline, not all side quests completed. Again, so supposedly he completed the main story, didn't did 100% of all the side quests. We don't know if the side quests have to do something with romance or not, but to a certain degree, it doesn't matter. As long, again, as it's in line to a certain degree, consider itself that the game tries to be accurate, historically accurate of what's happening in that time in that area to a certain degree. So I think we'll have to take it as it is. Again, yes, Eric can romance other characters in the game. Eric can romance another male. However, this is not forced upon the player in any way. Similar to how BioWare did romance checks, you must initiate the dialogue, pass around 5 dialogue choice romance check without missing one in order to unlock this romantic partner. You have to go out of your way to do this and to do it over the course of half the game. The dialogue options for male romance are treated very secretive, very taboo, and in line with historical times. Again, this is going in line with that. The romance is extremely brief and entirely skippable. 5 seconds of kissing total and 5 seconds of them on the bed naked. No one is singing dong, and they are just on top of each other kissing. The other cutscenes with Harry and woman are more vulgar to a certain degree. For fun, I asked if the women in the game were as well endowed as the first game. Again, this is Grummz asking. The reply: "Oh, the titties be wilding, a lot of titties." So that's that. All cutscenes are skippable, plus stories, side missions, romance scenes can all be skipped. There are no other example of wokeness in the game, so LGBTQ in the game, minus the one character from the first game, but his sexuality isn't even mentioned. Main quest for sure, not all side quests have been played at. Again, it's not thrust upon on. We know that he is. Uh, at least that's the perception that I'm getting from this. But it's not something that they are going about and propagandize there. Many people talking about Isfan and Eric from the first game being gay. In this one, it's not even mentioned in the main story. While it's confirmed in the first game that Isfan is gay in the first game, to my knowledge, they don't even reference in the second one. There is a black character in the game. He's a medic again. It's the Moore doctor. Is very well thought out from a writing perspective. Is under command of an enemy commander, and while said commander is kind to him, everybody around him treats him like shit, I suppose. He's a very likable character. He goes into pretty hardcore detail how he ended up there. The town or the towns are not multicultural and fit historical times, so the back character is the odd fish out for sure. Um, Now about gameplay, it seems that they improved a lot from the first one. It's similar but easier. Lock picking still sucks. Based on this information, I would say the whole Kingdom Come Deliverance thing has been blown out of proportion. The game is excellent and everything is treated in proper historical context. As this player said, the whole game is funny as shit. It feels like old school BioWare. For some, any game option is going to be a no for them. But for me, gay equals DEI. I will be buying this game on. Oh, does not equal. I think that's what he says here on the last one. Um, Here, I think. Yeah, I don't know what this means. I will be buying this game on day one. I don't know what he means with that, but yeah, it seems we had now a proper clarification of the situation. We are getting the, let's say, reliable information for people who are supposedly playing the game at this moment in time. I will assume for review purposes, and I think this was again to a certain extent blew out of proportions. Again, it's not the first time. It will not be the last time that this kind of rumor sometimes before games launches will pop out. But then again, I think it's a response to that situation. And given that was a lot of hub regarding the fact that it was banned in Saudi Arabia because of unskippable gay scenes. Again, people were a little bit worried because in a lot of instances on studios that are doubling down on DEI checklist while making games, there is an idea that these studios will start to try and cater a little bit more to normal things without these injected things here. But in the end, the marketing is going to be deceptive in that sense, and eventually the game itself will have these injected ideologies in the games, and people are afraid, and they are again very sensitive to this situation, which I understand. Again, I don't have any issues with diversity in the sense that it depends on it's a case by case scenario to a certain extent, but in something that claims, and it is to a certain degree very historical accurate in the sense where the game is setting. I think again it doesn't make sense. For example, everybody is very diverse, and everybody is gay and everybody is trans, and again it doesn't make sense given. And again, now we have seamless ironed out this situation. I will assume to a certain degree in the review process, the videos that will come out here will try to address this situation directly because of this situation, given that the fact that I think Daniel Farver should have done a better job when he first replied to this situation. Again, I think it's a lesson to be taken here. Yeah, when this kind of situation might happen, again, you don't have to reply to any kind of thing that pops out on Twitter, but the fact that this was taken at the time a little bit out of proportions to the extent that he himself made some comments here. I think he should have diligently did something more in line with this thread here, so people could at least have a better perception of the situation. Again, I will assume we will lose some sales, but other than that, I think the game will be okay. I will watch the reviews to see if it's something that it's. I will put in my wish list to try one of these days. But then again, usually this kind of games are not made for me to a certain extent. I always enjoy a good RPG, but again, I think it's more the part of the simulation and the combat. It's a little bit finicky for me to deal with. But yeah, I will have to see in the future how it goes. Other than that, this is what I got for the news. I'm sorry if I ramble a little bit too much here on the Kingdom Come Deliverance too, but yeah, situation here. But yeah, it's one of those things I was following, and this is kind of breaking news because it was posted a little bit before I start recording the video. But yeah, let's go for some gaming deals. From my library on Steam, we got Alien Isolation 75% off. Again, stamp of approval. The collection, it's well worth the added value there, even though it's a little bit more expensive. But yeah, I really do recommend this game. We got also Slay the Spire. Already got 100 hours or so put in this game. Again, I really do enjoy this game. 60% off or 66% off. Again, stamp of approval. Also, Planet of Lana. I already played this game. I did a gaming series on that. It will be probably, I think it's next to the one that I'm doing here, which is the Callisto Protocol. I think I will post the this one after that game is wrapped up. And yeah, 50% off is a really good experience here. Got also Wall World, 70% off, even at the full price. I do recommend this game. Very interesting. If you're one of those that like this kind of pixel art style games, got some different modes per se. You got some mining, you got the tower defense part of the game there, and the fact that there is kind of a role like there. Again, I really do enjoy this game, and I do recommend at full price. But at this moment, 70% off. Then we got Journey, 67% off. I do recommend this game, even at full price to a certain extent. But yeah, this is a good deal. I played this game on console for my brother a lot of years ago, and I did enjoy very much Journey. It's similar, or Planet of Lana is similar to Journey, and the games of like Limbo, and the other one that they did, I completely forgot the name. I completely forgot. I did play also that game, but yeah, very similar to kind of games like Limbo and the such. Everything is told while we play without any kind of dialogue and the such. Then you got also a Plague Tale Requiem. Again, the first one, it's not the Plague Tale Innocent is not on sale at this moment, but you can buy both of them in the bundle. No, you cannot. You can buy them in a bundle, but it's not on sale. Only the second one is on sale at this moment. Sorry about that. Then you got the Long Dark. You got the survival mode, and we got here that the full game. Again, I'm still a little bit confused with this edition, survival mode and winter mood story mode. Again, this one it's the better deal if not mistaken. And then you got the Quiet Apocalypse bundle also, which I think it has all the DLC for the game. But yeah, I think you can try this one out. Again, it seems pretty good. Very positive reviews overall, and I think it seems a pretty good game. Then you got Stray, Meow Meow Cat, to play as a cat. What can you say here? 40% off. Dredge, 40% off on the digital deluxe edition. Then you got also Cocoon, that puzzle game that wins a lot of awards, 40% off. And then lastly, we got Creep Custodian. Overwhelmingly positive reviews since it came out, and it's 20% off. It seems a pretty good one. Again, I will eventually try these games. When I buy them, I'll for sure will try to make some series out of it to see how good they are. But yeah, sorry about the long drawn episode today. But yeah, I will wrap up here with a plug on my Patreon for access support. At this moment in time, the access support is more in line for me to get a better storage solution, so that I can have backups of the stuff that I get that I do for my clients, and of course some extra storage for the videos that I do for the channel. And with all that said, I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.